Welcome to this Out of Bounds podcast. I'm John Luck alongside Mary Evers. Yes, we're trying this whole Out of Bounds thing. I think this is our third reincarnation of this show. I think
in the last year.
Yeah, I mean, if we do one more, we might be up for a show on CBS.
That's
Who knows?
True. Yeah, that's very true. We've kicked Brian to the curb.
Yes, well, he might still be celebrating since he is a BC fan. Kofi Kingston won the WWE Championship last night, so...
That could be it. Oh, I thought it was because he won our fantasy football league, and now he's too good for us.
Anyways, let's talk about the Boston Red Sox on opening day, 3-8, getting set to raise the 2018 World Championship banner. Currently 3.5 games back. Yeah, I can hear the just disappointment in your voice right now. As a card-carrying member of Red Sox Nation, you sing Sweet Caroline, you do the wave. Are you concerned right now at the start for the Red Sox?
Yes, I am very concerned. I'm concerned about the starting pitching. I'm concerned about the only two people on the team can hit, apparently, right now. And I'm concerned about the fact that Jackie Bradley Jr. and Mookie Betts are making some egregious errors in the outfield.
They're just having communication problems.
That's not good.
All people have communication problems.
That's true.
But it is kind of scary, the fact that Chris Sale had the entire offseason. He pitched, 8, maybe 12 innings in spring training?
I think so, yeah.
He starts the season off at 0-2 with an ERA of 8. Now, granted, he started against Oakland, 6 innings, an earned run on 3 hits. That was maybe more the Chris Sale we're used to.
Right.
But it's still kind of concerning that his velocity is down. He's getting smacked all around T-Mobile Park in Seattle. So what's to say Toronto doesn't do the same thing on opening day? If I'm the Toronto Blue Jays, I'm looking to spoil the Red Sox right now.
Yeah.
There's going to be nothing to look forward to for the Blue Jays in 2019. So why not try and take opening day from Boston?
If I'm the Red Sox, I'm not even starting Chris Sale for opening day. I hope that this is just kind of getting back into the groove of things. But I'm pretty sure something's still wrong with his shoulder. You can tell me all you want that he's fine. There's something wrong with his shoulder still.
So Chris Sale is a problem.
Yeah.
We've admitted this over the past couple weeks. But the rest of this pitching staff, you would think someone would step up, take charge, take the reins, and say, you know what, guys, I'll help us through this losing streak or these losing times. Nobody's done that.
Right. And you would think David Price, with all of his cards, would be able to be the one that does that. But doesn't look like he's going to be that person.
He takes to the mound and just starts leaking like Astro.
Oh,
Eduardo Rodriguez, that's another red flag, I think. Rodriguez, I think he's an important part of this team. If Rodriguez starts to falter, do you start looking at starting pitching in the trade market? Currently a 12.38 ERA. That's kind of scary for a starter.
Yeah, I mean, especially because it's been a while since he's had solid, consistent pitching. He was doing well for a while last year, but then he got, I think it was an ankle injury of some sort. And when he came back, it just kind of wasn't up to snuff anymore. Obviously, they got through the postseason, won the World Series. They did? Yep.
Really?
Yes, the Red Sox won the World Series last year, John.
I would never know that. Watching baseball and watching the Red Sox this season, I haven't heard it in every single press conference.
Yeah. Just turning the, what is it Alex Cora saying? It's just turning the page, not a new chapter, something like that.
He's still milking 2018. He'll be doing this till 2020.
Yep.
All right, so the Red Sox started with an 11-game road trip to start the season.
Just crazy. 15
of the next 20 games take place at Fenway Park. How important is the rest of the month for the Boston Red Sox? Obviously, you want to get as many wins as possible, but still, the fact that you have this many home games at this juncture of the season.
I think it's important because I think being home and being in an environment that they are comfortable with, familiar with, hopefully, they'll be able to set themselves right, work out some kinks that they need to, especially with the starting pitching, some with the outfield, some with the bats, all the issues that they're having.
So there has been a couple of bright spots.
Right.
J.D. Martinez, 3 home runs. Mitch Moreland had a home run against the Diamondbacks in the final game of that series. Andrew Benintendi, though.
Oh, gosh.
Mr. Benintendo himself. A 293 average, 5 runs batted in, and, great hitter at the plate. 10 strikeouts leads the team in strikeouts. Yeah. Are you concerned right now?
A little bit. I was more concerned at the beginning of the season. I think at one point I want to say it was Thursday's game. His ERA was like 160 something. So it seems like he's been improving since then. So that's hopeful. But I don't know if he's the right man for that leadoff spot. I really don't. I think they should probably switch Mookie back to the leadoff position.
I mean, I'm just trying to figure out when Sweet Caroline's getting played, but
Yeah.
nonetheless, we are going to talk about other teams here on the Out of Bounds podcast. John Luck, Mary Evers with you here.
Oh, boy.
And let's talk about the Boston Celtics,
Oh, so your fan club,
the Green Teamers,
the Green
the
Teamers.
17-time champions.
Yes. Well, those Celtics used to be really good, John.
The Boston Celtics face the Indiana Pacers in the 4-5 matchup, and I think this is going to be a very interesting series for the Celtics. They always seem to have problems in the first-round series, even going back to the big 3 days with Pierce, Garnett, and Allen.
Mm-hmm.
They've had trouble in the first round. This season, I don't think it's going to be as much of a problem. The Pacers have lost Victor Oladipo. The Pacers just don't have that go-to guy. Miles Turner does lead the league in blocks, but you can only do so much in a three-point league when you have Miles Turner in the paint. But nonetheless, I think for the Celtics, this is important because they have a lot of players on this team who need to try and find their roles.
Right, and I think the issue is they're all looking for at the same role. They all want to be that guy. They all want to be the hero of the playoffs, which is fine, but they actually have to play like a team and if they want to succeed going forward. And I think that they will beat the Pacers probably in 5 games. But I don't know if they're going to go further than that.
Okay, you're going to hate me for this answer, but I think this is a Boston Celtics team. I can already see the comments right now.
Oh, boy.
That can go to the finals.
Okay.
I will say this.
Okay.
First round, you're taking on Indiana.
Yeah.
You have home court advantage. Home court, actually, for the Celtics has been pretty good this year, 28-13 at the Garden, 20-20 on the road.
Right.
So you get through the Pacers. You take on the Bucks. The Bucks have been riddled with injuries. Giannis Antetokounmpo has an ankle injury. Nikola Mirotic has a back injury. Malcolm Brogdon battling plantar fascia. Chris Middleton having groin problems. So Milwaukee, that's going to be a grind, maybe 7 games, but I think the Celtics can win that series. Then you take on the Toronto Raptors. And at that point, Kawhi Leonard's going to be playing in his 3rd playoff series. Kawhi Leonard played 9 games last season for the San Antonio Spurs. Kyle Lowry, he's still trying to find his long-lost friend DeMar DeRozan somewhere in San Antonio. So I think mentally the Celtics can beat the Raptors. That would be the path to the final.
That's such a weird thing to say. Mentally, the Celtics can beat someone because mentally the Celtics have not been there all season.
I will say this. The Celtics this is the most mentally frustrating team I've seen for the Boston Celtics in my life.
Right.
Maybe going back to the early 2000s.
Yeah, I can't. All of Kyrie's things and one bright spot that I can say with the Celtics recently, the last stretch of the season, Gordon Hayward is playing stably. He's putting up double-digit points now. That's what we've been looking for him for 2 years now. Finally,
sorry,
it's
his
happening.
leg went the other way last year.
Yeah.
I mean, my bad. I didn't mean to have Gordon
I'm
Hayward
not
dampen
saying
your
it's his
season.
fault. I'm just saying it's a big contract, and finally something's coming of it. Hopefully, he doesn't get tired or sore going into the playoffs, and this stops. But
Let him play video games. That's all you can do. Give him 5 more minutes.
The Red Sox won the World Series after David Price stopped playing Fortnite. So.
And the Red Sox had an 11-game series playing video game, eating chicken, and drinking beer. But anyways, let's talk about the Boston Bruins right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
Hockey
this is your
talk
big
on
shining
Out of
moment.
Bounds. I know.
I'm banned from talking about hockey, so I'll just step aside, let you talk about the Bruins, who are probably a second-round exit. But anyways.
Well, I mean, they're made the playoffs.
They did.
Second in the Atlantic Division and the Eastern Conference. They had a record of 49-24-9. They were about 20 games back from Tampa Bay, but absolutely no one was stopping Tampa Bay this year. They just went in and beat everyone, basically. 62 wins in a season is absolutely incredible. One thing about the Bruins that is making me hopeful for a rather long run in the playoffs is their goalie usage this year. Halak and Rask have played almost even games. I think Halak has 40 and Rask has 46. So hopefully, with that amount of rest for Tuukka Rask, and now Tuukka Rask, I have a love-hate relationship with him, just like I do David Price. I think they are basically the same person for both teams. It's like they crap in the big moments and then randomly pull out the best one of their lives. I don't know. Hopefully rest as well going to the playoffs. They will be playing the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Toronto Maple Leafs have not made it out of the first round of the Stanley Cup playoffs since 2003, if I'm correct.
Sounds right.
3 or 4, but it's been an awfully long time. So I'm really not all that concerned about the Toronto Maple Leafs. They just can't get their stuff together.
But see, you say Toronto can't get their stuff together, but then you have Tuukka Rask on the other side that literally dumps himself in the biggest moments. Last year, don't forget, did go 7 games.
It did, yes.
And injuries has been a problem for this Bruins team. They fought through the injuries.
Yeah.
They filled in spots where they needed to.
Mm-hmm.
But now this is the playoffs.
Yeah.
You're facing the same team 7 games in a row.
Right.
Can the Bruins try and adapt to whatever Toronto throws their way? Because in 7 games, you're going to have different game plans. You're going to have line changes, especially in the defenseman core, I think.
Right. And I think that one of their biggest issues right now is the injuries to especially the defense. Chara at 42 years old is playing way too many minutes.
He played the final game of the season.
He did, which was ridiculous. Marchand and Bergeron both sat out this game. But for some reason, their 42-year-old defenseman was still in the game. And you know what? The whole, 40-year-old athletes in the Boston sports market seem to do okay. But I don't know. I don't think Zdeno Chara is on the TB12 method. He might be. Who knows?
Doesn't he ride his bike around the city of Boston after the games?
He does, in the North End all the time. Yeah, he likes to ride his bike to work. He's saving the environment. John.
Stop off at Halftime Pizza, get a nice slice of pizza.
Or the Regina, considering he lives closer to the Regina. But whatever.
Maybe he likes better pizza goes halftime.
Okay.
So let's talk about the real top story here. Let's talk about Mania. You want to talk WrestleMania? Probably not. No.
Sean, the last time I watched wrestling, I was in like the 8th grade. So I
yesterday?
yeah, yesterday. So I really don't know anything about wrestling.
All right, so that'll do it for this special reincarnation.
Yeah.
Let's see where this goes. Out of Bounds comeback tour. We might be back. Who knows? Maybe we'll be back later on this week as we'll probably have a lot of sports to talk about this time of the year.
That's
always
true.
Cool.
Lots of sports. I love it when the Red Sox, the Bruins, and the Celtics are all playing at the same time.
We'll be watching the Celtics go for Banner 18.
Oh, sure.
So for Mary Evers, I'm John Luck. Thanks for listening.